the Holtz's Heroes reunion brunch is happening right now at the Embassy Suites in South Bend. It's literally just wrapping up. Lou Holtz just finished speaking on stage. The legend, of course, and several former Irish players and coaches all coming together this weekend to help raise money for Holtz's Foundation and, of course, to cheer on the Irish. Well, I had the chance to talk with Lou one-on-one about today's game, the rivalry with Purdue, and what Notre Dame means to him, and a special opportunity that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Well, it's always been special because let's remember this. I was taught by the sisters of Notre Dame at St. Aloysius Grade School, and we prayed for the team every Friday. But then my uncles, my grandpa, all of them followed Notre Dame. And so it just had a magical place. It just a special, and once you came on campus, you just fell in love with it. Then you come to Notre Dame, you find out it's better on the inside than it's perceived on the outside. So many times, something looks great on the outside, but when you get on the inside, you find out it's really phony. That's not the case with Notre Dame. Their attitude is constant improvement. Notre Dame doesn't ever talk about what they did well. They talk about what they can do better. In addition to that, my wife had 3 children. We had 3 children graduate from Notre Dame. And one of the reasons I was a little bit late, I visited my wife's grave. She's buried on campus. My wife was the most religious person I know, maybe with the exception of Father Hesburgh, and she loved Father Hesburgh, but she just believed in Catholic education. She believed in people, and she was behind the scenes, always low, laid back, you know. And if she saw the recognition she's going to get in a couple of months, she would be embarrassed by that, because that's not her. And we could have done it if she wasn't in the grave, but it's been 18 months now, and I miss her badly.
How are you doing that? Who do you have that's there to support you and help you get through?
Myself. My children don't live around me. I live by myself. But my family has always been the most important thing, and we stay in touch. We encourage one another. I have 2 granddaughters. One's a senior, one's a sophomore here at Notre Dame, and I hope to meet up with them a little bit later this evening.
Looking at this Notre Dame team, it has, while Notre Dame is 2-0, it's not exactly the performance I think fans were expecting. What are your impressions of the Irish right now as they head into Purdue?
Well, I think they're a very talented football team. I think they have great running back. Cone has played well at quarterback, excellent receivers, tight end, and defensively they struggled. But I wouldn't be at all concerned. I think that I've coached long enough to know that early in the year you can't really evaluate a team. They're going to look back and say, boy, it's great we got by those 2 games. But now their offensive line will come together, and I'm not worried about the defense. He's a great defensive coach, was at Cincinnati. For years, Notre Dame ran a 4-2-5. He's come in basically with a 3-3-5. And linebackers don't always know exactly where to fit. It takes some time, it takes some experience. But Notre Dame's about more than just winning. And I know it's been a while since we've won a championship. We got shafted in '93, I say. I wish we'd had the playoffs then, but Notre Dame is still the #1 school in the country by more people than any other by far.
Looking at what Coach Kelly is having to work with right now, he's got the 2 quarterbacks that are battling. Both are playing quite well. What are your thoughts on him having the 2 quarterback option right now? Do you see that as a good thing from your experience?
Well, when I was at Ohio State, we were fortunate enough to win the national championship. And Woody Hayes said, if you have 2 equal quarterbacks, you got 2 second-team quarterbacks. Now, we have 2 outstanding athletes. And I have played 2 quarterbacks before. However, you say to the team, this is our quarterback. This is our leader. This quarterback is going to play in every game. Not because he's not doing well, but because if something were to happen to him later in the year and we're in a championship race, we're still going to have a quarterback that has experience, you have faith, you have confidence in. But the team must know who's the #1 quarterback, who's our leader, who's the guy that we got to follow now.
Would you mind giving me a prediction?
Oh, Purdue doesn't beat Notre Dame, and it's not even close here. I coached against them 11 years I was here. And one of the first victory we had was against Purdue. And they always had some good athletes. They had Scott and, different people, but we beat them decisively here. It's what I called a roster game. Anybody on our roster, I expect you to get into this game. Now, when we went to West Lafayette, we won every time, but we fought for our lives there. They're a different team in West Lafayette than they are here in South Bend.
So Notre Dame gets it done?
Oh, Notre Dame gets it done. At halftime, the coaches were eating hot dogs and drinking Cokes and telling jokes, getting ready for the second half.
Lou Holtz is an absolute gem at 84 years old. These types of opportunities will not come around very often, so I appreciate it so much. I was told I would get exactly 10 minutes, not a second more, for this interview, but we ended up just chatting for more than a half hour, just talking, Lou asking me as many questions as I asked him. Just incredible. We will have much more from my interview with Coach Holtz throughout the season on ABC57 Kickoff, including whether or not his style of coaching would be successful with this generation of players. Something I actually talked with a legendary Notre Dame football coach, Lou Holtz, about when we've seen this shift in college athletes. What was once considered just the way it's always been does not always work with today's players. I asked Lou if he feels he would still have success coaching today's generation of players.
I think I'd be a better coach today than I've ever been.
In his 35 years as a head coach, Lou Holtz amassed 249 career wins, including the 1988 national championship at Notre Dame. But the landscape of college football has changed over the course of the past 17 years since he retired in 2004.
Today, the younger people, the millennials, are different. Everybody got a trophy. There are no losers. Everybody's valedictorian now. Everybody's homecoming queen. But what you have to understand about millennials today is they want you to lower the standards so that they can feel success. And that's the wrong thing to do. What you say to a millennial is important. But what you say to them is not near as important as your tone of voice. And your tone of voice is not near as important as your facial expression. So the madder you get, the softer you speak, the more you smile.
Lou says it's important to study people and coach players as individuals.
With Rick Meyer, he was such a wonderful young man. But if you followed a Rick Meyer, you didn't get the same result. On Tony Rice, if I didn't grab him by the throat twice a day, he didn't think I was paying attention. So here's two great quarterbacks, two great young men, two beautiful people. But you had to handle them a little bit different because of their background and the way they were raised.